What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. There's a lot to unpack today, so let's waste no time and jump straight into the latest MMA news making waves across the community. Things kicked off with Paddy Pimblett firing shots at Arman Tsarukyan, and Paddy definitely didn't hold back. The situation exploded online after fans began praising Arman for what they described as a generational media run, with Tsarukyan seemingly everywhere at once. He's been jumping from podcast to podcast, popping up on multiple streams, and doing interview after interview, building serious momentum outside the cage. But according to Paddy, none of that attention is coming from originality. In his eyes, it's imitation, plain and simple. Paddy believes Arman is following the exact same blueprint he used to turn himself into a star, and that realization clearly struck a nerve. While appearing on Full Send MMA, Paddy reacted strongly to Arman's recent media push. He pointed out that Arman has been repeatedly bringing his name up across different platforms, bashing him and inserting himself into conversations that revolve around Paddy. While Pimblett admitted the strategy has been effective, and that Arman has undeniably gained new fans in a short amount of time, he made it clear that he isn't impressed by it at all. In Paddy's view, Arman is trying to copy not just his online presence, but his entire persona. He accused him of mimicking the attitude, the relatability, and even the way he interacts with fans. Paddy mocked Arman for suddenly trying to appear like an everyman, joking about burgers, pizza, and casual living. He sarcastically suggested that Arman should stick to caviar and the lifestyle he actually comes from, implying that this new image feels forced and manufactured rather than genuine. The message was loud and clear. Paddy doesn't believe Arman's recent popularity is authentic. He sees it as an act designed to win over fans by copying someone who has already proven that formula works. Paddy also responded to comments where Arman openly said he hates him and finds him pretentious. Pimblett brushed that off entirely, suggesting that Arman is only saying those things to keep Paddy's name in the conversation and elevate his own profile. From Paddy's perspective, this isn't personal, it's strategic. He believes Arman wants to tear him down because of his success, visibility, and star power, not because of any genuine issue between them. Taking it even further, Paddy suggested that Arman carries himself like someone who believes everything should be handed to him. He implied that money and privilege have shaped Arman's outlook and attitude, and that this entitlement is exactly why the copying feels so obvious to him. Overall, Paddy's response was sharp, sarcastic, and completely on brand. He made it clear that he doesn't see Arman as competition. In his mind, this is imitation, not rivalry. Before moving on, make sure you drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy staying up to date with the latest MMA news. Now let's move to the next major story. Nick Diaz has finally broken his silence, and it's clear that he's carrying a lot of frustration about how the past year of his life unfolded. After being largely absent from the public eye for over a year, with widespread reports claiming he was in rehab and focusing on getting his life together, Nick has now spoken out and shared his version of events. According to him, the reality of the situation was far more complicated and painful than most people realized. Nick explained that he feels deep anger toward the people who allowed this situation to happen. He claimed that individuals he trusted and believed were closest to him actually played a role in keeping him locked away. In his view, their actions weren't motivated by concern for his health, but by personal benefit. That sense of betrayal has clearly left a lasting impact on him. His frustration didn't stop there. Nick also directed criticism toward his brother Nate Diaz, saying that he's unhappy with the people Nate keeps around him. On Instagram, Nick addressed everyone who has been speaking about his life and attempting to control it. He made it very clear that this would never happen again. According to Nick, he was locked up for more than a year, and the people he trusted the most were responsible for keeping him there for their own reasons. Nick also called out an older man who has been presenting himself publicly as a spokesman for the Diaz family. Nick said this individual should no longer be listened to and should be discredited entirely. He went on to criticize YouTubers who sided with that person, accusing them of being scammers who profit off negativity and misinformation. Because of everything that happened, Nick admitted that his inner circle has become much smaller. However, he said he now understands why that needed to happen. Loyalty, according to Nick, means more to him now than ever before. Despite all the negativity, he made sure to express appreciation for the people who truly stood by him. He praised his wife Kayla, saying she always had his back and never tried to use the situation for her own benefit. He also mentioned Martin Sano, calling him a real one who has been there since day one, regardless of the hate. When speaking about Nate, Nick said he doesn't fully understand what his brother's issue is, but urged him to cut out the talkers in his circle and keep things real. He ended his message by encouraging people to enjoy their lives, stay positive, and appreciate their freedom, while hoping things can eventually settle down, moving forward. Arman Tsarukyan has made it crystal clear that he's willing to give up everything for a shot at UFC gold. During a recent appearance on Demetrius Johnson's YouTube channel, Arman spoke openly about how much winning a UFC title means to him and just how far he's willing to go to achieve that dream. His words immediately caught the attention of fans because of the intensity and obsession behind them. Arman admitted that the UFC belt means more to him than anything else in his life. He said he would gladly give up all his money, his watches, and his cars if it meant wrapping the belt around his waist. For him, it isn't about luxury or status. It's about fulfilling a lifelong goal that has driven him since the very beginning of his career. He explained that when you want something badly enough, sacrifice becomes easy. As he talked, Arman described the feeling he believes he'll experience when he finally wins the title, saying that just thinking about it gives him chills. He also touched on legacy, explaining that champions are remembered not just for winning the belt, but for how many times they defend it. Arman confidently stated that one title reign wouldn't be enough for him. He wants 3, 4, or even more defenses. Winning the belt, in his mind, would only be the beginning. The conversation then took a lighter turn when Arman joked about how eager he is to fight. Laughing, he said he'd even be willing to step in as a backup if needed, joking that he'd be ready to replace Kayla Harrison and fight Amanda Nunes if the call ever came. While clearly playful, the comment still highlighted how willing he is to compete anytime and anywhere. Next up, Dana White has officially shut down the idea of Conor McGregor facing Jorge Masvidal, and he didn't sound interested in entertaining the matchup at all. With excitement building around the UFC's upcoming White House card, fans have been speculating wildly about what fights could land on such a historic event. Ever since the announcement, social media has been flooded with rumors. Ahead of UFC 324, Dana sat down with TMZ Sports and addressed the speculation. He explained that once the weekend's fights are done, the UFC will immediately move into matchmaking mode. According to Dana, meetings are scheduled early in the week, and from Monday through Wednesday, the promotion will focus entirely on building the White House card. He added that the UFC expects to have the structure finalized by the second week of February, though contracts would still need to be signed. One rumored matchup gaining traction was Conor vs. Masvidal, especially after Ali Abdelaziz and Masvidal teased it publicly. However, Dana dismissed the idea outright, calling it goofy and suggesting it was nothing more than internet noise. Michael Chandler also weighed in, sarcastically comparing the rumor to claiming he landed on the moon. Michael Bisping, however, took a different stance. He argued that from a business perspective, Conor vs. Masvidal makes sense. He said Conor is a massive star and that the sport is better when stars are involved. While he admitted the event doesn't need Conor, John Jones, or Alex Pereira to succeed, he believes the UFC would want to make it as spectacular as possible. Despite that, Dana's position seems firm for now. Ali Abdelaziz then added fuel to the fire by pushing for Justin Gaethje versus Conor McGregor for the lightweight belt. Speaking with Submission Radio, Ali suggested scrapping an interim title defense and instead booking Justin versus Conor on June 14th, tied to America's 250th anniversary. He described it as a massive spectacle that belongs on the biggest stage. Ali accused Conor of running from Justin for years, and said this is the fight Conor needs if he wants relevance again. While giving Conor credit for his past accomplishments, Ali emphasized that Justin is operating on a completely different level now. Though many fans feel this matchup belongs in the past, the White House card has opened the door for massive, dramatic fights. Elsewhere, the UFC released training footage of Dan Hooker grappling with Ciryl Gane, and it was exactly what fans hoped for. The session was filled with trash talk, jokes, and laughs rather than intense competition, showing the chemistry between the two fighters. Dana White has also responded to backlash surrounding the White House card. Several fighters, including Brandon Royval and Sean Strickland, have voiced concerns about the limited crowd and political atmosphere. Paddy Pimblett also expressed frustration, saying he likely wouldn't even be able to bring his family. Dana pushed back hard, saying sports have always intersected with presidents without becoming political. He believes the backlash is overblown and that the spectacle will speak for itself. Finally, the UFC has come under fire for its treatment of Tom Aspinall. After his no contest with Ciryl Gane due to brutal eye pokes, Aspinall faced heavy criticism. His teammate Modestas Bukauskas strongly defended him, explaining how severe eye pokes can be and how unfair the backlash was. Bukauskas believes the incident will only motivate Aspinall to come back even stronger, especially with tension still lingering between him and Gane. That's everything for today. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for your daily dose of MMA news.